Uber rinseless wash and Uber SiO2 rinseless wash. Are they Uber flops or Uber successes? Stay tuned for my review and find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do the video a little bit differently, and I would really appreciate it if you leave a comment below or email me at theoutdoordetailer@gmail.com. Just want to get your thoughts and opinions on what you think of the format of this video versus other video formats that you may have seen so far. So that said, today's test is going to be, or review is going to be on the Uber rinseless wash from Wolfgang Products and the Uber SiO2 rinseless wash from Wolfgang Products. So what makes these different, other than the color, obviously, is this one is polymer based, and we're going to get into that in a minute, and then we have SiO2 based with protection in this one. So to start with, the regular version here comes in these 16-ounce containers for $19.99. Now what's really nice about these is you don't need a measuring cup or anything. You just kind of unscrew this, and then you can squeeze out till you get to 1 ounce here, and you can't really overfill it because as soon as you let it go, over an ounce drains back down into this thing. And then if, you know, and I suggest buying these just because they have the built-in thing here. And then if you like it, you get a gallon jug of it, and you could just refill because you have this cap. So anyway, $19.99 for this. And if you want a gallon of this, now this is a great deal because a gallon is $49.99, which there's only a few brands that have gallon sizes that are cheaper than $50. So again, great bargain in the gallon size. In the 16-ounce size, it's actually a little bit more expensive than your normal 16-ounce bottle. But these bottles, if you buy these separately alone, will cost you about $5 a piece. So now, in fact, let's get back to, before we get to the other one here, the regular version, according to Wolfgang, can be used as a rinseless wash, a waterless wash, a clay lube, detail spray, or even by adding a ½ ounce of product into your normal wash bucket, for example, your normal car wash soap, that it can add to slickness and reduce water spotting on the rinse off. So it's really, they say it's a 5-in-1 product. Now, what's really weird about this one, which is different from normal rinseless washes, is this one, they say the dilution ratio on this is 1 ounce per 3 gallons for rinseless, versus on this one it's going to be different. Actually, it's, well, different on this one, dilution ratio on the back. Anyway, so at 1 ounce per 3 gallon dilution ratios, I'm gonna say it was kind of disappointing. Like right now, I did footage, and I'm not even gonna show it because it was really meh. It didn't impress me. In fact, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 4. The sponge feel was not all that great. It didn't go across the surface slick like other washes. The dry off, it felt like I needed a drying aid. It wasn't smooth, it wasn't slick. And then the paint feel, after using this as a 1 ounce per 3 gallon dilution, even the feel on the paint, it didn't feel slick. It like a good polymer or SiO2 version, but it didn't feel perfectly clean like a lot of other surfactant, more surfactant based products. So as a 1 ounce per 3 gallon dilution ratio, meh, 4 out of 10, not very good. Now things changed, however, and you're gonna see now that in a 1 ounce per 2 gallon dilution ratio, or the normal standard for the industry basically out there, the normal standard is 1 to 256, because you still get a lot of product, or you get a lot of use per 16 ounce, 32 ounce, or even gallon sizes. You get a lot of product being made. So now this is where it changes at the 1 ounce per 2 gallon ratio. So what I noticed was that, and you're going to see in the video here, what I noticed was that there was a lot of added slickness on the sponge, and I also noticed that there was a lot of added, in fact, you're going to see a photo here now, a clip to the photo. You're going to see that it looks like, instead of just polymer based, you're going to see it looks like there's SiO2 in it. And typically I see this water behavior in SiO2 based products. Now I reached out to Wolfgang customer service to ask them about this, and what they got back to me was that because I asked them about the dilution ratio, number one, if that was correct, and then about the SiO2 versus the regular, and if the regular has any SiO2 in it. And what they said was, correct, the Wolfgang Uber rinseless wash and the SiO2 rinseless wash have a different dilution ratio for the rinseless wash method. Both of these products can be diluted to create a rinseless wash, waterless wash, detail spray, clay lube, and car wash additive. The standard version has polymers in the formula. The SiO2 version has silica in the formula. The standard version is perfect for maintaining vehicles that have used paint sealants or carnauba waxes as their LSP. If the vehicle has been ceramic coated, then they recommend an SiO2 version. So right from Wolfgang, that's what they gave me. Even though I did see water behavior indicating an SiO2, they say it is polymer based. So, and as you'll see here now, as I wash with the 1 ounce per 2 gallon version, I noticed that the sponge feel was way different. It was more slick going down the side of the car, the hood. It left it just as clean as the other version. Both versions clean fine. However, the wash, the sponge feel was way better, number one. But then even the dry off phase. The dry off phase, the towel went over the surface far smoother. It wasn't grabby. It didn't feel like I needed a drying aid like I did on the 1 ounce per 3 gallon dilution. And then also, as you could see here with the finger test, the surface felt smoother. It felt a little bit like there was more slickness involved with the finger test. Now, where we get to the SiO2 version here, with the SiO2 version here, we have the same 5 mixtures that they said, you could use with the regular version: the rinseless, waterless, clay lube, detail spray, additive, and the additive to car washes. This though is 1 ounce per 2 gallons as their recommended dilution ratio. Now again with this here is $24.99 for 16 ounces. So just for this little bottle, it's $5 more than their regular wash here. So that's a big premium. Number one, $25 for 16 ounces is fairly expensive. However, in the gallon version, so if you test this and you like this, in the gallon version, it is $54.99. So not a big premium, only on the gallon jug, only a $5 premium over the regular rinseless. So even at $55, that's a good deal on a gallon if you like this product. And again, same thing. You can, you fill this up and then you dump this into your bucket and you can refill the container on this side. So now, having said that, what I did notice is in using this, and you're going to see here, we have improved slickness on the sponge, even above the 1 ounce per 2 gallon on the regular rinseless. The sponge feel on this went across the surface super easy. I used the double flip towel, as you could see here. It slid across the surface. It cleaned the paint. It felt really good. The dry off now. The dry off was vastly improved over even the regular version diluted at 1 ounce per 2 gallons. The dry off was super smooth. It did not feel like I needed a drying aid. And in fact, what really impressed me is, and you can see in this real small clip here, was that I sprayed the car down and I did the top and the sides, and I did the top first with my test, and then I came back and did the side of the car. And even though it was in the 80s when I did this test, 80 degrees plus outside, it was still on the car. None of it had dried. We still had all the water that I applied. And so a slow drying rinseless wash to me is gold, because you need that. I mean, part of the reason why people use rinseless washes is because sometimes soaps dry too fast in the sun, and you need a rinseless, because then there's polymer left over if it dries, and you wipe that polymer off with your drying towel. And then, as I mentioned, no drying aid needed. It felt really nice, and basically that boils down to the review here. And I will say, in fact, I'm going to leave the final thoughts here to myself and let you know just how I feel about the SiO2 and, in general, the Uber rinseless. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute, before I get there. I said that the regular version here was meh, okay, 4 out of 10. It was really kind of substandard. It didn't have the cleanliness that I would think of as a polymer, or not a polymer, as a surfactant based. The paint didn't feel super clean, but as a polymer based, it wasn't also super slick on the dry off or anything like I would think of as a polymer based. Now, at the next dilution ratio, the 1 ounce per 2 gallons, I give it a 6. Okay, so it increased a couple points just by adding more dilution into the water, or actually increasing the rinseless dilution per water, I guess, 1 to 256, however you want to say that. But anyway, a 6 out of 10 using the alternate dilution ratio. Now, when we get to the SiO2 version, this to me, solid 7, between 7 and 7.5. And as you'll see in the next clip, this is why I gave it a 7.5. Thanks for watching. All right, so there you have it, the SiO2 Uber rinseless from Wolfgang. Hopefully you can see that. And as I mentioned, the dry off is just super easy. In fact, this towel, it just slides across here. In fact, oh shoot, this started sliding off the car. So anyway, it does leave some slickness behind. It does feel nice and kind of silky smooth. That's the only way I could describe it. And even though this car is coated, it's coated with Geon Pure and the Can Coat Pro, which the surface is not smooth at all with those. It actually is just kind of grabby. Those actually, to me, they're more for the gloss and the protection versus the feel or the slickness versus like a Geon Mose. But anyway, this is all about the Wolfgang here. And if you like SiO2 products, I would rank this pretty high with those. At the recommended dilution, it washes great. It seems to work really good, especially on the fallout that I had here. I don't see any stuff on the windows, on the glass. I don't see any remnants or film left. And on the bottom panels, it completely cleaned everything that I needed it to. And the dry off, super easy. In fact, once it's dry now, this towel glides across the surface super smooth, like I had, almost as if I put an SiO2, like a drying aid, on here. It's just super slick feeling. Yeah, it's just super slick. So anyway, this, I think, personally, if I don't want to use a drying aid, the Uber SiO2 is probably, to me, one of the better products that I have tested. It's on par with the Geon Eco Wash when I was using the Eco Wash as a drying aid as well. Because with the drying aid, the towel slid across the surface really nice. This isn't quite as slick, but I didn't mix this as a drying aid and use it that way. But to me, it's a little bit better feeling than the regular Uber, the pink version. But it's up to you. Do you want to use your own drying aid, or do you want to just have like an all-in-one product and just use it that way? So anyway, if you like this video, you know, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, or, you know, just hit that subscribe button. And if you want to send me a message, send it to theoutdoordetailer@gmail.com. I try and answer all my emails, all the questions below in the comments section. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. You have a great day. Bye. Stop recording.